This video is brought to you by Zarrakan Productions, an umbrella group composed of multiple shows and an archive of over 5,000 videos covering a wide variety of topics. Please go to zarrakan.com for a complete listing of video links, social media feeds, and opportunities to support our content. Thank you for your time, and may I present another Zarrakan production.
So, I hear you've made your in-ring debut quite recently.
Yes, I did. Unfortunately, it didn't go as well as I'd hoped. At least not the first time. The second time, well, I may have technically lost, but I think that the that little maid girl realized who was boss.
Well, I mean, that's a way to look at it. But go ahead and stick with it there, you intergalactic beauty. You just don't eat me.
Now, I won't eat you. You're fine.
That's good. You know, never can tell for sure with... Yeah, anyway, as we have a action-packed card for you guys tonight, so with all due regards, let's see if I can still do this, because I know it's been a while since I've been on the table. Everybody, TV, you know, your friends, enemies, boyfriends, girlfriends, your boyfriend's girlfriend, your girlfriend's girlfriend, yeah, candy, nose candy, your candy, you got your date, your second date, but please, let's go and keep it on the opposite of the arena. I want to keep the action in the ring, not keep the action inside the ring, not outside the ring. Also, when you do TPM in and you yourself, please remove any heavily script or usage, which are included but not limited to Pixel Packers, City Bouncers, Ash Shakers, Tommy Talkers. Believe me, you're not going to be needing them for the rest of the show. Not only that, but please refrain from being on mic. That right's reserved for myself, Koi, and any other WPWF staff.
Okay, to translate all of that, if you're going to TP in your friends, put your ass towards the ring. Teleport them in. They will appear outside the barricade. If they enter the barricade or interfere in a match, Koi will eat them. Period. End of statement. 2, don't get on mic. If you get on mic, not only will that be bad and ruin the show for others, but Koi will eat you. And lastly, please turn on media so that you can see the Tron over here, because not only will there possibly be information that you will want to know, but all those wonderful music videos that come up with each of our wrestlers are a sight to see, and you wouldn't want to miss them. And lastly, please set your environmentals to either midnight or Photo Tools no light to get the best out of the show.
Yeah, what she said. But regardless, folks, of all of that, we have a lot to cover and very little time to cover it in as we get into match 1 with Mama T versus Rena. Now, I overheard some things that, like, I don't know, Mama T making her way to Japan to take on Risuko. Now, what exactly is all that about?
Yeah. Oh no, this is what happened was Ritsuko, in her infamous attempt to try and show everyone where their place is, decided during a match with Mama T to go after her partner in the audience.
Went
after Bear. So instead of keeping it to just her opponent, she basically knocked down and hurt her husband. This was not cool. Well, after that match, there have been a lot of, shall we say, internet grumblings of this. And in the end, Mama T decided to go take matters into her own hands by going all the way to Japan, hunting down Ritsuko, or Risotto, as she may have been called. And then, in a temple on holy ground, gave her a beating only the kami would appreciate.
Well, then, and knowing Ritsuko like I have over the, years ago, I don't think she's going to let that kind of stay lying down, if that makes sense.
Well, I wouldn't expect that. But, again, that's the deal. Now, of course, all of this plays into tonight's match. As the Dragon Maiden of Dojima, or Maid, once again is up against a very tough opponent in Mama T.
That is for sure. I mean, yeah, Mama T, it's straight out of the bayou, and honestly, the way I've seen it, they tough as nails coming out that way, Cajun country. But I mean, with Rina though, I mean, being a Yakuza princess, I believe, it's going to be a tough call what to make from there.
True. Oh, do I feel the sudden cold chill of my senpai? I believe I do. Hello, Anarchy. Anyways, our next match.
That's right. It'll be Leah the Doll Dumbfield taking on the newcomer Mazra. Now, unfortunately, I have yet to see Mazra, but when did Leah become the doll again? What happened there?
Well, this has been a very slow thing. See, there's been some conflict within my darling sister Leah. And so, within Leah, she has been slowly fighting with the doll. The doll and her have finally come to wouldn't you call it a truce? More of a one finally pushed the other out of the way situation, if that makes sense. And so now we have two for the price of one. But you're never really sure which one you're getting until you face them. My first match in the ring in the asylum was against her, and although she swears the doll didn't come out, I know the doll did. And I pissed it off.
Well, that's never good. But I would assume...
Oh, that's all right.
But I would assume your alien physiology helped more compensate for that.
Yeah. Luckily, I was able to take the punishment. But it was still worthwhile to watch her glare at me as I flipped her off. Unfortunately, my senseis weren't too happy about the loss. Of course, you know who they are. Hisatsu?
Yes. I'm well aware of who is Hisatsu. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they've decided to take me in and train me and teach me the ways of Hisatsu.
Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and move over a chair. There we go. Now I know that's not bringing me a lot safer, but hey, hi, how you doing? Just gonna kind of be over here, but I mean, and that's the thing about it, though. You know about the doll. I know about the doll. Mazra is not, unless she's done her research and done her studying. She's not going to be able to, be insightful on the doll.
This is very true. I just hope she doesn't, hurt my salt lick. I mean, Mazra, too terribly much, because she's already had to deal with one of my senseis in Rikurahara. Oh, sorry. So she's lucky she survived that.
Well, we're going to have to definitely see, what Mazra can bring to the table, against the doll, Leah Duffield, as I've been so, urgently corrected by the crowd. So, yes, Miss Duffield. Is that better?
Now, yes. Now, then there's this next match, and you might want to tell me more about this. Is for some reason my notes don't give me much info today.
Well, apparently, I know that there is the match that's scheduled. This match scheduled for tonight, from what my sources tell me, and what I've seen on Twitter, is Kasumi versus Dahlia. Now, with that is at least on Twitter, Dahlia made an announcement. Somehow, she finally made her presence known on Twitter that this week there's going to be a match and between her and Kasumi, and that's kind of her, I guess, going to talk to the general manager, Austin Knight, and she made that known, I believe, earlier this week. Now, whether or not it's obviously it's on the card, it's always going to happen, but I'm not 100% sure what's transpired between these two in order for that to really go on. I mean, I get hearsay, but I believe, Coy, you've been here a lot longer, that you've been here and know more of the ins and outs of it.
Well, they've had some back and forth. The usual, I hate you, you hate me, we all live in a dysfunctional family. There's been a lot of shit going on. Little bits of, angst here and there. It's really, just, you have a big ball of crazy in Dahlia, so who knows what her motives are there. And then you have the sim breaker, which, we all worry more about whether or not she's going to, rebound, spin something and kill a sim again.
Yeah, I heard about that. I've heard about that. I've heard about the nickname, and the one thing that last dog A, I've heard a lot of different nicknames, but Simbreaker I did not see coming, I'll be quite honest.
Well, she did earn it. Now, of course, we have our next match here.
Yep, it's going to be Carmelita taking on Kimberly. Now, apparently, from what I hear through random bitching from Lady Death, Carmelita's been kind of a thorn in her side as of late.
Well, yeah. First off, this will be the third time that the underdog from the underground and the Voodoo Queen have clashed. And, the last two times, Carmelita won using some very alternative methods, shall we say. But she has been having problems with Lady Death. And for some reason, the two of them have decided to get into a case of, how do we put it, supernatural mumbly peg? And waiting to see who flinches first while they keep driving spell power down on each other's knuckles.
Yeah, I could go with with Lady Death. I can understand the whole supernatural aspect kind of thing, though she does not like going that route, as she prefers more of the physicality. But it seems that Carmelita has also gotten pretty much under her skin. If I remember correctly, she mentioned something about, costing her a match via Voodoo Doll, Something to that
Yes,
effect?
exactly. She came out with a voodoo doll after snipping some hair in a previous encounter and used that doll to some effect, which immediately caused Lady Death to be very irritated. Which really, I mean, this really, I don't know, it begs to make you wonder exactly how far the Voodoo Queen is willing to take this. It's one thing to use voodoo on, well, quote, mortals. It's another thing to go after someone who, dare we say, is the aspect of death.
Yeah, I mean, I still do some, more training and sparring with her and the Crisis Boys, but yeah, if she has been so kind of distracted and frustrated that I feel the brunt of it. So that's why I came out of my match last night unscathed. I've gotten used to beatings. But no, and this is definitely a thing. I mean, you've got some supernatural abilities there with both with Carmelita, but then let's not take away from Kimberly now, the underdog from the underground, as she's as tough as they come and a fierce competitor.
Oh no, I am definitely not saying that Kimberly doesn't have a chance. What I am saying is, because it is known that Carmelita will do anything to get a win, I think Kim's going to have to be on her best game, simply because you never know what Carmelita will pull out of her hat.
As well as Kimberly has also brought in her tag partner and her friend Joanne Steele, and I mean, obviously at this point, from what I've understand, because I didn't see her in the back, Joanne will be away this week, acting in some play, so it'll be just Kimberly tonight without a cheer guard, I guess I could say at this point.
Well, yes, but at the same time, one of the things, I may not always agree with Kimberly, and I may not always like her, but I do have to give her credit. She has always been willing to come out into this ring by herself and live, win or lose. She comes out and she fights on her own merits. I have to give her props for that.
So it's definitely going to be there. But then we've got, we've also got the potential of, Lady Death coming out to enact revenge. So this is definitely going to be an interesting match to watch, for sure.
Yes.
Who comes out.
And then, of course, we have our main event,
which is a triple threat match between Karma Star, the Dark Siren Samantha Foxy, and one half of the WPWF Tag Champions, Kamikaze Chiyoko. Now,
woo! Yay, Hisatsu!
Now, it's definitely, I mean, these three women are decorated in their own right. I'm not going to lie. Especially having the tag champion Chiyoko in there. We've got the Dark Siren coming in there, and not only that, but Karma Star.
Well, let's face it. What you have in that ring is a ring of champions. You have three very experienced, very competitive, and very dangerous women. All of them with incredible skills and a level of dark brutality that they have no qualms about releasing. Yeah, one of them might be willing to play fair when it suits her. The other one, very much more of a tactician. And the third one, well, we all know how Chiyoko is. She would just murder the two of them if she could just get away with it and walk out of there with the prize. So, that's just the way it is. This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. Not a match, a fight. Because none of these three women are going to give in or give up.
Oh, that is for sure. It's definitely going to be one that is going to be seen out there, and you're right. It is a circle of champions, and former. Well, one is a current, but the other two are former, and that by its right is definitely going to be interesting, and and here's and then there's a thing in this is which ones are going to succeed, which ones are wanting to come up. And then there's that aspect of, Hisatsu, with those titles, have got a target on their back. As we've seen, like, tag teams start forming, and one of which, most known, is Shimmer, that is going to really possibly play a factor in there. And then what about Rika Ohara? Is she going to be joining, Chiyoko out to the side of the ring? And then what kind of presence is she going to be doing? Because I'm not going to lie, they're not above, interfering in each other's matches.
Well, there is that, and let's face it, I'm not going to imagine or try and lie. Besides, I know that a certain wrestler back there will just shout and scream about it anyways. But when it comes to Hisatsu, there is one other thing you also have to wonder. Whether I'll actually get up out of this chair and do something myself.
Oh, that's Shimmer.
Because Shimmer did find out that can always happen, because we use whatever tactics are available to us.
Go ahead.
But hey, that's fine. No problem. If Chiyoko says that she wants me with her at ringside, I will get up from this chair and do so, because they are my senseis, and that is my chosen path.
Part of me says you've chosen well, and then the other part of me is like you are on a dangerous path at that. So either way, take your pick. Nonetheless, folks, those are the matches for tonight, as we've got 8 minutes before, 7 minutes before the show begins. So definitely grab everybody you know. Everybody you don't know. You don't know anybody? Quickly go to a noob sib. Grab a noob. Bring them back here by force if necessary. And introduce them to the best in women wrestling action here at WPWF Asylum. Now, let's go ahead and I'll say this. Let's go ahead and make some predictions here. Who do you think is going to win? Out of Mama T and Rina Kadoya, their koi, who do you think's going to win?
Well, considering that I've been in the ring with Rina, and quite honestly, if it hadn't been for certain problems, she had a hard time handling me as it was. So I don't know if she'd be able to handle Mama T. But I'm gonna go ahead and give her a chance to prove me wrong. So I'm gonna actually go with Rina on this one. Let's see if she can prove that she actually would have won that match. I'm still very sorry that my poor little robot had way too many donuts and shot coolant all over her face. Who knew?
Well, there's some things that, taking into consideration, like how soon she got back, is she still suffering jet lag, stuff like that, and taking those things into consideration, I do have to agree with you. Not saying either one of them are incapable of winning, but my biggest thing is what condition is Mama T going to be in coming into this match. So I'm going to have to go with Rina on that one with the hidden X factor. All right, on the next match, which one do you think is going to win? You think it's going to be Vidal or Leah, or is it going to be Mazra?
Well, as much as I do love my little Salt Lick, I'm going to have to go with my sister, not because I'm contractually obligated or familially obligated, but simply because I think that if the doll comes out, Mazra's screwed.
Well, and that's the thing is as everybody knows me here on the table, I like unpredictability. That's where I have to sit here and kind of side with, is the unpredictability of, a opponent of a match. So far, I think Mazra's faced, some people that are, I won't say predictable, but are more able-bodied, so to speak. No, not able-bodied.
Actually, you'd be incorrect on that, since she's faced Ri. And Ri Kurahara, besides my fangirling over her and other issues and desires, besides all of that, she's not exactly predictable. You could have a match with Ri that could be completely honorable and above board, and in the next one, she pulls a shiv and tries to gut you.
It's not, and that would be more of a one-track mind, if that makes absolutely any sense. But with Leah / the doll, like you said earlier, you never know who you're going to get, and you cannot.
Oh yes, my sister is a big ball of crazy.
Right, you cannot be prepared for somebody that is like that, where you don't know who you're getting in the ring with. So it gives you, unless you can prepare on a snap decision, you're not exactly going to be prepared, very, very well. So I'm going to have to go with Leah on this one as well. Now the next match, who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be Kasumi or is it going to be Dahlia?
Well, I do love the Simbreaker. I think she's an excellent competitor. But I have a thing about siding with crazy, and Dahlia is as crazy as it gets.
So, here's where I am torn. Now, I've known Kasumi for a long time, and from what I understand by looking on here, Dahlia is a hometown girl. But from what I know of Kasumi compared to what I know of Dahlia, I'm going to have to go with Kasumi on this one because of the simple fact of, former Siren Rising champion, and, she's as scrappy as they come. Does that mean that Dahlia isn't going to win? No, but my money through the experience that I've had from Kasumi when she first started, because I've been around when she first started, it's just I got to go with Kasumi on this one.
Alrighty, now we have hey, you chill your jets back there. We're talking. And our next match, of course, Kimberly Smith versus Carmelita Marcel.
Well, to have the doing the whole taking on Lady Death, I got to go with Carmelita on that because there's a lot of guts with that.
Well, I'm going to go with you on that one because I know that Carmelita is very like-minded to myself and will do whatever it takes, but also because I love annoying the crap out of Kim.
All right, and then, of course, our main event. Who do you think's going to win? Karma Star, Samantha Foxy, and I have a feeling I already know the answer here, Kamikaze Chiyoko.
Chiyoko all the way, of course. Now, I can tell you that I do know that at least one member of Hisatsu will not be here this evening. She is dealing with things elsewhere.
All right, so she won't have Ri there, but she still has you. So, well,
I'm not a full member of Hisatsu. I'm more, as she puts it, a minion. Okay, eventually, someday.
So you're one half. Okay, so on either case, yeah, I honestly, with everything involved, I'm sorry, I gotta go with Karma Star on this one. That's just me. But it is 6 p.m. SLT, so let's get the show on the road, shall we?
Yes, and Jock, please. I know you want me, but quit trying to give me little nicknames. It's unbecoming. And while we wait for the music, a quick introduction of, yes, it's Mr. Chaseful Reverb, Drewski Huxley! Yay!